Act 1, Scene 1. Before Leonato's house. Enter Leonato, Hero, Beatrice, and a messenger.
I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort.
Victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio. He has an uncle here in Messina, will be very much glad of it.
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars, or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he is returned, and as pleasant as ever he was. He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
You had a musty victual, and he hath hoped to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier, too, lady.
And a good soldier, too, a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord. A man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less a stuffed man, but for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off. Now is the whole man governed with 1. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, it ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady. The gentleman is not in your books.
No, an he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young squarer now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 ere be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
Don Pedro is approached. Enter Don Pedro, Don John, Claudio, and Benedict.
Good Signor Leonato, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow bides and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter?
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict, no. For then, were you a child?
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly, the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady. You are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die when she hath such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then courtesy a turncoat, but it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find it if I had not hard heart, for truly I...
A dear happiness to women. They would have else been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood I am of your humor for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind. So some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and 'twere such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parent teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
Would my horse have the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way, in God's name.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
This is the sum of all, Leonardo. Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonardo hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear, he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
Well, if you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Either your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonardo. We will go together.
Exeunt all except Benedict and Claudio.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonardo?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple, true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sect?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her. In mine eyes, she is the sweetest lady that I ever looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, do you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
It's come to this. In faith hath not the world worn his cap with suspicion. Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go to, if faith, and thou wilt needs thrust thy neck in Sundays. Look, Don Pedro is returned to seek you.
Re-enter Don Pedro.
What secret hath held you here, that you follow not to Leonardo's?
I would your grace would constrain.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio, I can be secret as a dumb man. I would have you think, mark you this, on my allegiance. He is in love. With who? Now, that is your grace's part. Hero, Leonardo's short daughter.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths, and I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she's worthy, I know.
That neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy is the opinion fire cannot melt out of me.
Thou
Will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But all women shall pardon me, because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor,
I shall see thee ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that I ever lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking. Prick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle at me, and he that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try. In time, the savage bull doth bear a yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off, set my forehead, and let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they write, "Here is good horse to hire." Let them signify under my sign, "Here."
If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horn mad.
Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
I look for an earthquake too, then.
Well, you temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Benedict, repair to Leonato's. Commend me to him and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you.
To the tuition of God. From my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Nay, mock not, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometime guarded with fragments, and the guards are but slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience. And so I leave you.
Exit.
My liege, your highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach me but how. Thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero, she is his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord. When you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms comes thronging the softest and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying, I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hearer with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and her father, and thou shalt have her. Was to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love, that no loves grief by his complexion. But lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look, what will serve as fit? 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero I am Claudio. And in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and make her hearing prisoner with the force of my strong amorous tale. Then after to her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
Exeunt. Act 1, Scene 3, the same. Enter Don John and Conrad.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this, till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you in newly into his grace. Where it is impossible you should take true root but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering honest man, it must not be denied, but I am a plain dealing villain. I am trusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here?
Enter
Who comes here? What news, Horatio?
Oh, I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
Oh, a proper squire. And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Mary, on Hero, the daughter of heir to Leonato.
A very forward march chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, as I was smoking a musty room, comes me the prince and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I whipped me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me?
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Exeunt. Act 2, Scene 1. A hall in Leonato's house. Enter Leonato, Hero, and Beatrice.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not. How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedick. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, ever more tattling.
Well, then, half Senior Benedick's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Senior Benedick's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world, if it could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way, for it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So, by being too cursed, God will send you no horns?
Just, if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in the woolen.
You may lie on a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore, I will even take 6 pence in earnest of the bear ward, and lead his apes into hell.
Well, hero, I trust you will be ruled by your father at least.
Yes, faith. It is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Father, as it please you. But yet for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Father, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with a piece of valiant dust, to make an account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, uncle, I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
The revelers are coming. Make good room.
All put on their masks. Enter Don Pedro, Claudio, Benedict, Don John, Horatio, and Margaret.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
Though you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing, I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so, when I please.
And when please you to say so?
When I like your favor, for God defend the lute should be like the case.
My visor is Philemon's roof, within divinity.
Why then your visor should be thatched?
Speak slow, if you speak of love.
Drawing her aside, exeunt Don Pedro, Hero, and Claudio.
Well, I would you did like me.
But would not I for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry, Amen!
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen!
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer clerk.
No more words. The clerk is answered.
All exeunt except Beatrice and Benedict.
Will you not tell me who told you so? Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now?
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedict said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but the libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and they beat him. I am sure he is in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure, not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into a melancholy, And then there's a partridge wing saved, for the fool will eat no supper that night.
Music.
We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any will, I will leave them at the next turning.
Dance. They exit. Enter Don John, Horatio, and Claudio.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are not you Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he lovest her?
I heard him swear his affection.
Oh, did I too. And he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Exeunt Don John and Horatio.
This I answer in the name of Benedict. But hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so, the prince is woo for himself. Friendship is constant in all things, save in the office of affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch against those charms faith melted into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Re-enter Benedict.
Come, Claudio?
Yeah, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow, about your own business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck like an usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Why, that's spoken like an honest drover. So they sell bullocks. But did you think the prince would have
I
served
pray
you
you
thus?
leave me.
Oh, now you strike the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I will leave you.
Exit.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into sedges, but that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me. The prince is fool, ha! It may be I go under that title because I am merry. Yea, but so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Re-enter Don Pedro.
Signor, where's the Count? Do you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady. And I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland, or as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Wilt thou make a trust to transgression? The transgression is the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss the rod had been made, and the garland too. For the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing, and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith you say honestly.
The Lady Beatrice Beatrice hath a quarrel to you? The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by
misused
you.
me past the endurance of a block. An oak with one green leaf on it would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark, with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had let him before he transgressed.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the Antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker now from the furthest edge of Asia, bring you the length of Prester John's foot, fetch you a hair off the great Cham's beard, do you any embassage to the pygmies, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. You have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come! You have lost the heart of Senior Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it of me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore you look sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil, Count. Civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true, though I'll be sworn if he be so his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his good will is obtained. Name the day of the marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes, his grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let him not speak neither.
Faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord. I thank it, poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
All England except Beatrice and Don Pedro.
Oh, good Lord, for alliance. Thus goes everyone to the world but I. And I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry, hey-ho, for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands, if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me. And to be merry best becomes you. For out of question, you were born in a merry hour.
Oh, no. Sure, my lord, my mother cried. But then there was a star danced, and under that I was born.
Enter Leonardo.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle. By your grace's pardon.
Exit.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad, but when she sleeps, and not ever said then, for I have heard my daughter say she hath often dreamed of unhappiness, and wakes herself with laughing.
She cannot endure the hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when mean you to go to church? Oh, Claudio?
Where did he go? Claudio!
Some call him hither. Claudio!
Claudio, where art thou? Oh. I assume it's not Monday, which is hence just a 7 night and a time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
I can't control it.
Well, where'er he is, I warrant, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. Ah, Claudio! Happy to see you returned. I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I will in the interim undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but passionate. If you three will but minister some assistance, as I shall give you direction.
Well, my lord, I'm for you, though it cost me 10 nights watching.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero.
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
I will teach you how to humor your cousin, that she shall fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict that in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go with me, and I will tell you my drift.
Exeunt. Scene 2, the same. Enter Don John and Horatio.
Is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Nay, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that, to be the death of this marriage?
The point of that lies in you to temper.
Exeunt. Scene 3, Leonato's orchard. Enter Benedict.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool, when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife. And how had he rather hear the tabor and the pipe? I have known when he would have walked 10 mile afoot to see a good armor. And now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now was he turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it. Till he have made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God. Ha! The prince and Monsieur Louvre. I will hide me in the arbor.
Withdraws. Enter Don Pedro, Claudio, and Leonato.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself?
Oh, very well, my lord. The music ended, and we'll fit the kid fox with a pennyworth.
Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of today? That your niece, Beatrice, was in love with Signor Benedict?
Stalk on, the foul sits. I did never think that lady would love any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Senior Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible?
Maybe she doth counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh God, counterfeit. There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why? What effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well, and this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
You amaze me! I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this a gull, but that Leonato speaks it. Knavery cannot, sure, hide himself in such reverence.
He had taken the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment, for she'll be up 20 times a night. And there will she sit in her slot till she hath writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all. Oh, she tore the paper into 1,000 halfpence, wailed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so. It is very true.
Oh, it were good that Benedict knew of it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
She's an excellent, sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
And everything but loving Benedict. I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her half myself. I pray you tell Benedict of it and hear what he'll say.
For a good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die. She says she will die if he loves her not, and she will die ere she makes her love known. And she will die if he woo her.
If she would make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. For the man, as you all know, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed good outward happiness.
Before God, and in my mind, very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
In the managing of quarrels, you may say he is wise, for either he avoids them with great discretion or undertakes them with most Christian-like fear. Well, I'm sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
I love Benedict well, and I wish he would modestly examine himself and see how much he is unworthy of so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote her on upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. Let us send for Beatrice and have her call him to dinner.
Exunt Don Pedro, Claudio, and Leonato.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me? Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth, I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so, I cannot reprove it. And wise. But for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance to have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his old age, and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No, the world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Enter Beatrice.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure then in the message?
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point. You have no stomach, signor. Fare you well.
Exit.
Ha! Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner. There's a double meaning in that.
Exit.
Mhm.
Act 3, Scene 1. Leonato's garden. Enter Hero, Margaret, and Beatrice.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my betrothed lord.
And did they bid you to tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedick, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you do so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full, as fortunate a bed as Beatrice ever shall couch upon?
O God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passion.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
He is the only man of Italy, always excepted my dear Claudio.
I pray you be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy. Signor Benedick, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report throughout Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it, ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day. Tomorrow. Come, go in.
She's limed, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
Exeunt Hero and Margaret.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For the others say thou dost deserve. And I believe it better than reportingly.
Exit. Scene 2, a room in Leonato's house. Enter Don Pedro, Claudio, Benedick, and Leonato.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, and then I go toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil and a new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
They say, methinks you are sadder?
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant! There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it.
You must hang it first and draw it afterwards.
What? Sigh for the toothache?
Or is but a humor or a worm?
Well, every one can master a grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love. If he be not in love with some woman, there is no believing old signs. Brushes his hat o' mornings. What should that bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did by the loss of a beard.
Nay, rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out of that?
That's as much to say, the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of his melancholy.
And when was he wont to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself, for which I hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string, and now governed by stops.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude. He is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That I would know too, I warrant. One that knows him not?
Yes, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
Yet is this no charm for the toothache. Old Signor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
Exeunt Benedick and Leonato.
For my life, to break with him about Beatrice.
This even so, Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
Enter Don John.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good end, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you. Yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Needs your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know he does.
I know not that, when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me. By that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hoped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who, Hero?
Even she, Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant, but go with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her. But it would be better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will, follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation where I should wed, there will I shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther, till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Day untowardly turned.
Oh, mischief, strangely thwarted.
Oh, plague, right well prevented. So will you say when you have seen the sequel.
Scene 3, a street. Enter Verges and Dogberry with the watch.
Are you good men and true?
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
This is your charge. You shall comprehend, or vague man, you are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if it will not stand?
Well, why then, take no note of him, but let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he's none of the prince's subjects.
True, true, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Oh, well, all right, then leave them alone till they're sober. If they make you not then the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
Yeah. If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Yeah. Truly, by your office, you may. But I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
Well, truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him. If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Oh. Why then, depart in peace and let the child wake. Wake her with crying. For the ewe that will not hear her lamb when it bays will never answer a calf when he bleats.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, by Our Lady, I think that I cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on it. With any man that knows the statutes, he may stay him. Marry, not without the prince be willing, for indeed the watch ought to offend no man. And it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
By Our Lady, I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call up me, keep your fellows' counsels and your own, and good night.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here upon the church bench till 2, and then all to bed.
One more word, honest neighbors. I pray you watch about Signor Leonato's door. For the wedding being there tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Adieu, be vigilant, I beseech you.
Exit Dogberry. Enter Horatio and Conrad.
What, Conrad?
Peace. Stir not.
Conrad, I said.
Here, man, I'm at thy elbow.
That mass and my elbow itched. I thought there would a scab to follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that. And now forward that with thy tale.
Stand thee close then under this penthouse. For it drizzles rained, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treasons, masters, yet stand close.
And therefore, know I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Oh, thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones make what price they want.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou notes that the fashion of the doublet and the hat or the cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
No, I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Tush. I may as well say the fool's the fool, but seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is? I mean, come on.
Know that, deformed, has been a vile thief these 7 years, goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Dost thou hear anybody?
No, 'twas the vein on the house.
Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily it turns that about all the hot bloods between 14 and 5 and 30?
All this I see, and I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. But art not thou thyself giddy with the fashion too, that thou hast shifted out of thy tale into telling me of the fashion?
Not so. Neither. Neither. But know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the lady hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out at her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master, Don John, saw afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was Hero?
2 of them did, the prince and Claudio. But the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away went Claudio, enraged, swore he would meet her, as he was appointed, next morning at the temple, and there, for the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw or night, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name, stand! Call up the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that ever was known to the Commonwealth. And one deformed is one of them. I know him. He wears a lock.
Masters.
You'll be made bring deformed forth, I warrant you.
Masters.
Ever speak? We charge you, let us obey you to go with us.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity being taken up of these men's bills.
A commodity in question, I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.
Exempt.
Scene 4. Inside Hero's apartment. Enter Hero and Margaret.
Troth, I think your other rabatta were better.
No, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troth's not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
I like the new tire within excellently, and your gown's a most rare fashion in faith. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown, that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troth, it's but a nightgown in respect of yours. Cloth of gold and cuts and laced with silver, set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirts, round underborne with a bluish tinsel. But for a fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 of it.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
'Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Upon me, art thou ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is it not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence a husband, and bad thinking do not rest true speaking, I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think. And it will be the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise, 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my Lady Beatrice, else here she comes.
Enter Beatrice.
Good morrow, cuz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in the sick tune?
I am out of all other tune, methinks. 'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I am exceeding ill. Hey-ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all. H.
Well, and you be not turned Turk, there's no more sailing by the star.
What means the fool, Tro?
Nothing, but God send everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves the Count sent me, they are an excellent perfume.
Oh, I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maid and stuffed? There's goodly catching up cold.
Oh, God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Even since you left it, doth not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. By my troth, I am sick.
Get you some of this distilled Cardus Benedictus, and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why, Benedictus? Have you some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think, perchance, that I think you are in love. Nay, by Our Lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think, if I would think my heart out of thinking, that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedict was such another, and now is he become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop. Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gallants of the town are come to fetch you to church.
Help to dress me, good cuz. Good neg.
Exeunt. Scene 5. Another room in Leonato's house. Enter Leonato with Dogberry and Verges.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, my good friends?
Goodman Verges, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as, God help, I would desire they were, but in faith, honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living that is an old man, and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous, palabrous neighbor, Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor duke's officers. But truly, for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all of your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, eh?
And 'twere 1,000 pound more than 'tis, for I hear as good exclamation on your worship as of any man in the city. And though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Yes, well, Mary.
Our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, had taken a couple of errant knaves as any in Messina.
Good old man, sir. He will be talking, as they say, when the age is in. The wit is out. God help us. It's a world to see. Well said, in faith, neighbor Verges. Well, God's a good man, and two men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. An honest soul, in faith, sir, by my troth he is, as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Oh, gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
Now, one word, sir. Our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended two auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examinations yourself and bring it me. I'm now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
Then it shall be suffragance.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
Exit Leonato.
Well, go, good partner, go. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall drive some of them to a non-come. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Exit.
Act 4. Scene 1. A church. Enter Don Pedro, Leonato, Friar Francis, Claudio, Benedict, Hero, Beatrice, and Don John.
Come, Friar Francis, be brought only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount the particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady. Do you come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
Oh, to be married to her, Friar. You came to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter.
Know you any hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any count?
I dare make his answer none.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do.
Oh, now, interjections? Why, then some be of laughing, ah, ha, he.
Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give for me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonato, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Come not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul with an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you, in your own proof, have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity...
I know what you would say. If I had known her, you will say she did embrace me as a husband, and so extenuate the forehand sent. No, Leonato, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee, seeming? I will write against it. You seem to me as Diane and her orb, as chaste as it is the bud ere it be blown. but you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well, that he that speaks so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True, oh God.
Leonato, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this the face of heroes? Or our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me but move one question to your daughter, and by that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truthfully.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh God, defend me. How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Marry, that can Hero. Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. What man was he talked with you yesternight, out at your window, betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer me this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then you are no maiden. Leonato, I am sorry you must hear this. Upon my honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, like a most liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
O hero, what a hero thou hast been! If half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thought and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it be more gracious.
Has no man's dagger here a point for me?
Hero swoons.
Why, how now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirits up.
Exeunt Don Pedro, Don John, and Claudio.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help, uncle. Hero. Why, Hero. Uncle. Signor Benedict Friar.
Oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
How now, cousin Hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she bear to deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero. Why had I one? Why ever wast thou lovely in my eyes? Why had I not that charitable hand took up a beggar's issue at my gates, who smirched us and mired with infamy? I might have said no part of it is mine. Oh, this shame derives itself from unknown loins. Mine, and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was proud on. Mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine. Oh, valuing of her, why she has fallen into a pit of ink, that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little, which may season give to her foul tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder I know not what to say.
On my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night, I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed, confirmed, though that is stronger made, which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie, and Claudio lie, who loved her so, that speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die.
Hear me a little, for I have been silent so long, and given way unto this course of fortune. By noting of the lady, I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face, 1,000 innocent shames in angel whiteness beat away those blushes. And in her eye there hath appeared fire, to burn the errors that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading nor my observations, trust not my age, my reverence, calling nor divinity, if this sweet lady lie, not guiltless here, under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be.
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
I know that to accuse me, I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. O my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the charge of words with any creature, refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprison in the princes.
Two of them have the very bent of honor. And if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lies in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
No, not if they speak but truth of her. These hands shall tear her if they wrong her honor. The proudest of them shall hear of it.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here the princes left for dead. Let her be a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this, well carried, shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. But not for that dream I on this strange course, but on this travail look for greater birth. She dying, as it must be so maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out that what we have we prize not to the worth, whilst we enjoy it, but being lacked and lost, why? Then we rack the value. Then we find the virtue that possession would not show us, whilst it was ours. So will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. Let this be so. And if all aim but this be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal her, as best befits her wounded reputation, in some reclusive and religious life, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonardo, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet, by mine honor, I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may...
'Tis well consented. 'Tis well consented. Presently away. For to strange swords, strangely they strain the cured. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Exeunt all but Benedick and Beatrice.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason, I do it freely.
Do you understand about anything that's going on?
There's some sort of...
Surely, I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me who would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world but thee. Is that not strange?
As strange as a thing I know not. It was possible for me to say I loved nothing in the world so well as you. But believe me not. And yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it, I protest I love thee.
Why, then God forgive me. You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest
What offense,
that I loved
sweet
you.
Beatrice? Then do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Ha! Not for the wide world!
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you, let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height of villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man. What? Bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh, God, that I were a man. I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out at window, a very proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wronged, she is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly count, Count Comfect, a sweet gallant surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies, valor into compliment. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die. A woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice. By this hand, I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. So farewell.
Exeunt. Scene 2, a prison. Enter Dogberry, Verges, and Sexton in gowns, with the watch, and Conrad and Horatio.
Which be the malefactors?
Mary, that am I and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that ought to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Horatio.
Pray, write down Horatio. Yours, sir?
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir.
Yea, sir, we hope.
No. Well, write down that they hope they serve God, and write God first, for God defend. But God should go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves. It will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelous, witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come you hither, sir, a word in your ear. Sir, I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside. Before God, they are both in a tale. Have you writ down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must first call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Hey, Mary, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man, sir, that said that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down, Prince John is a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call the prince's brother a villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yea, by my mass, that it is.
What else follow?
And that Count Claudio did mean upon his words to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain, thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonato's. I will go before and show him their examination.
Exit.
Yeah. Oh, come, let them be opinioned. Come, bind them, thou naughty varlet.
Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. No, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, a pretty piece of flesh, as any is in Messina, and one that knows the law. Go to, and a rich fellow enough. Go to, and a fellow that hath had losses, and one that hath 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him. Bring him away. Oh, that I had been writ down an ass.
Exit.
Act 5, Scene 1. Before Leonato's house. Enter Leonato.
My soul doth tell me Hero is blithe. And that shall Claudio know, so shall the prince and all of them that this dishonor her.
Enter Don Pedro and Claudio.
Good den. Good den.
Good day to you.
Here are you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonardo.
Some haste, my lord. Well, very well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
Marry, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler thou. Nay, never lay thy hand upon thy sword. I fear thee not.
Marry, beshrew my hand if should give your age such cause of fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing by my sword.
Tush, tush, man, never fleer and jest at me. I speak not like a dotard, nor a fool, as under privilege of age to brag. What I have done being young, or what would I do now were I not old? No, Claudio, to thy head, thou hast so wronged my innocent child and me that I am forced to lay my reverence by. And with gray hairs and bruise of many days, do challenge thee to trial of men. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors in a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old man.
My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare, despite his nice fence and his active practice.
Away, I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so daff me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou kill'st me, boy, thou shalt kill a man. And she is dead, slandered to death by villains.
My heart is sorry for your daughter's death. But on my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
Oh, my lord, my lord.
I will not hear you.
No, I will be heard.
Exit Leonato.
See, here comes the man we seek.
Enter Benedict.
Now, signor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, signor. You almost come part almost a fray.
We'd like to have our 2 noses snapped off.
Leonardo, what thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for him.
In a false quarrel, there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high proof, melancholy, and would fain have been beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though very many has been beside their wit. I will bid thee draw, as we did do the minstrels. Draw to pleasure us.
As I'm an honest man. He looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
What courage, man? What, though care killed a cat, thou hast mettle enough in thee to kill care?
Sir, I shall meet your wit in the career, and you charge it against me. I pray you choose another subject.
Nay, then give him another staff. This last was broke cross.
By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry? Indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
What a feast, a feast.
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said, thou hadst a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. No, I said, a great wit. Right, says she, a great gross one. Nay, I said, a good wit. Just, said she, it hurts nobody. Thus she did. An hour together trans-shaped thy particular virtues. Yet at last she concluded with a sigh, thou wast the properest man in Italy.
For the which she wept heartily and said she cared not.
Yea, that she did. But yet for all that, and if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly. The old man's daughter told us that. But when shall we set the savage bull's horns on sensible Benedict's heads?
Yea, and text underneath, here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which, God be thanked, hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet. And till then, peace be with him.
Exit.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. And I'll warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is when he goes in his doublet and hose and leaves off his wit.
He is then a giant to an ape, but then as an ape, a doctor to such a man.
But soft you, let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Enter Dogberry, Verges, with Conrad and Horatio.
Come you, sir, if justice cannot tame you, she shall now weigh more reasons in her balance. Nay, and you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now? Two of my brother's men bound, Horatio one?
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. And secondarily, they are slandered. Sixth, and lastly, they have belied a lady. And thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what's their offense. Sixth, and lastly, why they are committed. And to conclude, why you lay to their charge.
Rightly reasoned, and in his own division, and by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
What have you offended, masters, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to understand. What's your office?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me? And let this count kill me. I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms cannot discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the lady hero. how you were brought into the orchard and saw me count Margaret a hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusations, and briefly I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
Have drunk poison while he uttered it.
But did my brother set thee to this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved at first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonotto of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve. I am an ass.
Here comes Master Signor Leonato.
Re-enter Leonato.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes. That, when I know another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
You would know your wronger. Look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience. Yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight that he'll enjoin me to.
Cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. I pray you both possess the people in Messina here how innocent she died. If your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning come you to my house. Since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost the copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin. And so dies my revenge.
O noble sir, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow then I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not. Nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me an ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment.
I thank you for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for your pain.
Oh, well, sir, God save the foundation.
Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. And God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to part, and if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Exit Dogberry and Verges.
Till tomorrow morning, lords. Farewell.
We will not fail.
Tonight, I'll mourn with Hero.
Bring you these fellows on. We'll talk with Margaret, how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Exeunt severally. Scene 2, Leonato's garden. Enter Benedict and Margaret.
Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it. For in most comely truth thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me? Why shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth, it catches.
And yours as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but not hurt.
A most manly wit, Margaret, it will not hurt a woman. And so, I pray thee, call Beatrice.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come.
Exit Margaret.
The God of love that sits above and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. Oh, I mean in singing, but in loving, Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme to lady but baby, an innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn, a hard rhyme. For school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms.
Enter Beatrice.
Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, Signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge. And either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee now, tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintained so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There's not one wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
So much for praising myself, who I myself will bear witness is praiseworthy. And now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. There will I leave you two, for here comes one in haste.
Enter Margaret.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. It is proved my lady Hero hath been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John, the author of it all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, Signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
Exeunt. Scene 3, a church. Enter Don Pedro, Claudio, and 3 or 4 with tapers.
Is this the monument of Leonardo?
It is.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death in guerdon of her wrongs gives her fame which she never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon the tomb, praising her when I am dumb. Now unto thy bones, good night. Yearly will I do this right.
Good morrow, masters. Put out your torches. Thanks to you all, and leave us. Fare you well. Come, let us hence and put on other weeds, and then to Leonardo's we will go.
And Hymen now with luckier issue speeds than this for whom we rendered up this woe.
Exeunt. Scene 4, a room in Leonardo's house. Enter Leonato, Benedict, Beatrice, Margaret, Friar Francis, and Hero.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
The princes and Claudio, who accused her upon the error that you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears, in the true course of all the question.
Well, I am glad that all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by faith enforced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdrawn to a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither masked.
Exeunt ladies.
The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To what, senor?
To bind me, or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonardo, truth is, good signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
And I, my daughter, lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio and the prince, but what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is your good will may stand with ours, this day to be conjoined, in the state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes the prince and Claudio.
Enter Don Pedro and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind.
Call her forth. Here's the friar ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter? You have such a February face, so full of frost, of storms, and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee, as once Europa did at lusty Jove, when he would play the noble beast in love.
Much like to you, for you have just his bleat.
For this I owe you. Here comes other reckonings.
Re-enter the ladies, masked.
Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same as she, and I do give you her.
Why then, she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not, till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy friar, I am your husband, if you like of me.
When I lived, I was your other wife.
Unmasking.
And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero.
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live. And as surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero that is dead?
She died, my lord, but whiles her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify. When after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Soft and fair, friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why, then your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth, no. No more than reason.
Oh.
Why, then my cousin and Margaret are much deceived, for they did swear that you did.
They swore that you were almost sick for me.
They swore that you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me?
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I'm sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her. For here a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, writ in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedick.
A miracle! Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace! I will stop your mouth.
Kissing her.
How dost thou, Benedick, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of wit crackers cannot flap me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? No. If a man will be beaten with brains, he shall wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it. And therefore, never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee. But, in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin.
I had well hoped thou wouldest denied, Beatrice, that I might have cudgeled thee out of thy single life to make thee a double dealer, which out of question thou wilt be. My cousin do not look exceedingly narrowly to thee.
Come, come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First of my word, therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife. There is no staff more reverend than one tipped with a horn.
My lord, your brother John is taken in flight and brought with armed men back to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers!
Dance exeunt. Thank you all for coming. I am Katrina Silliman, and I played the roles of Verges and the Messenger. Here is Sarah Carter. who played Conrad and Margaret. We have Morgan Ayers, who played Horatio and Friar Francis. Aaron Jack Bauer as Dogberry and Don John. Pepper Jensen as Leonardo and Sexton. Rachel Blumquist as Hero. Alex Okagu as Claudio. Jonathan Kafore as Don Pedro. Allison Erskine as Beatrice. And Derek Sams as Benedict. We hope you all enjoyed this. We would love to do this for you again sometime. Let us know on the Facebook page what shows you would like to see us perform. Thank you and have a wonderful night.